Hello everyone, my name is SiC and welcome back to Factorio Space Age, where we are on Aquila and I have set up a basic steam turbine and we're going to start building a few more things now. But before we get started, if you want to support the channel, please do leave a like and a comment below and consider subscribing to the channel. It does really help out a lot. So, what we're going to be doing, I am not 100% sure because, for one of these recipes that I think we're going to have to start with, we are going to need ice. I'm not sure how to produce it. We can get it from picking up rocks here, or basically ice rocks. And that is a start, but that is not of course any way to automate it. We could get ice from space, and that could be something to consider, but then we would have to have a spaceship hovering over here constantly, which I don't know if that's the way to do it. Probably not. So what we're going to do, however, is I'm going to start making some storage tanks so that we can capture some of these fluids over here. Yeah, we're going to have to make more platforms as well, which is or more concrete. We do have some concrete still, I think, or don't we? I wish this would stop blinking, but I don't think we have anything in here, so we do need more concrete, and I have sent my rocket over to Navis basically, but it stopped at Gliba, which is interesting. Why has it stopped? We ran out of this fuel, which is not ideal. Right, so why have we run out of this fuel? It is the blue one. And we don't have enough iron ore, which is interesting. Why don't we have enough iron ore? And this is not being put onto the belt. Okay. So we're going to remove this thing and then we're going to turn this like so, and now we have iron ore on the belt again. That is weird. I don't know how I haven't caught that before, but basically half of these things were not working. And these things also need to be able to dump their materials, and if they cannot, we should also dump those. So we're going to go ahead and make an underground belt like so, and I guess we ran out of underground belts, which is unfortunate because I don't think we can delete it from anywhere else. Maybe we have a blue one. That might be possible. So let me just see. Nope, we do not. So these ones also don't keep working because we're not removing the iron or the copper ore, which is unfortunate. Okay. So we are going to every once in a while make some of this stuff, and then we're going to keep flying, and we are in safe space, so it's on its way. And we're going to get these materials, so eventually this problem is going to sort itself. Now that's already a blue one. Anyway, we need concrete, so I'm going to set it up because it's going to have some requests. So let's request some of these, I guess. I'm not sure if we need all of them, but we probably do. So I'm turning this one on, or it's already turned on actually, so we're going to request that once it is back over Navis airspace, and then once it's full I'm going to send it back, and then we're going to continue expanding our little area. And also I really want to make space platforms more, basically automatically. For that we need ammonia, for which we need to set up what we're going to set up with the storage tanks and so on. And then the ice, but we haven't gotten an ice recipe yet, so that is just something that's interesting. So this might be a little bit of a waiting game, unfortunately, but we're going to find out. Let's go ahead and set up some tanks, and of course we need to hook these up to those pipes, and then we need some heating. Like so. And then of course we're going to need heating right there, and essentially we need to make sure that we have some space for an underground pipe here, and there we go. Now we have got ammoniacal solution. What is this called? Ammoniacal solution. Indeed. So from there we are going to have to set up a little system with chemical plants that is going to take ammoniacal solution, and that is going to produce ice and ammonia for us. So I'll just make a little setup for that and then I'll be right back. Now, one more thing I didn't realize that I forgot was to add the circuit conditions, because we didn't have these power poles running all the way to the top. And so I corrected that mistake and I gave them a red wire, because we already have a green wire over here, so that they run on a different circuit from this one. And yeah, with that we can now check our storage of thruster oxidizer and the thruster fuel. So that is running as intended again. We are at now V's right now, and as you can see, all of this stuff is being voided, and maybe that is a little bit too much. So what we should probably do is also we should hook this up to this belt, and then we're going to read the belts, hold all, and then we're going to have a look here. Enable, disable if we have... Where is the copper ore? Yeah, copper ore. If we have more than 0, this needs to be, let's say, 200. Now it is disabled until we have more than 200 copper ore stacked up on this belt. And that should mean that this stuff keeps working as much as it needs to. Right, when we get some materials in here anyway. We won't have a lot, but this is basically going to back up to 200 copper, and that is hopefully enough to give some copper here available for our foundries, which are full anyway, so it doesn't really matter at the moment. These will keep producing, right, to make molten copper, which is then going to be made into copper plates. But yeah, this is going to take some time because we have a lot of requests. Most of it is concrete, 1500. It's a lot, and we can only send up 100 at a time. We also have some other logistic requests over here, and basically it's just going to take some time for all of that stuff to be sent up. Now let's have a little look at Cape Canaveral. As you can see, most of these are already spent. Some of them are still flying. But we have, we're running low on thruster fuel. This is not thruster fuel, this is rockets. Okay, so there is more coming. This is a problem with the train. And this train, right, it just got refueled. So right now it is going to go to the rocket fuel pickup. And what is going on here? 79, 87, all right. Essentially, we are just not producing enough. So what we're going to be doing, because we are sending up a lot of rockets right now, we're going to go ahead and copy this design. And let's put it right about there. I think that's fine. Right? Now what is going on here? I can't see it anymore. But this, yeah, this belt is going here. It is completely full. So this is producing the rocket fuel from solid fuel. So we just need another splitter in here to provide us with some of that solid fuel. The robots are then going to make it, and of course we need to hook up light oil, or we could use a different fuel, maybe, or maybe we can't. I'm not sure. This has to be the light oil. Okay, so we need to increase our production of light oil, so we need a cracking facility. So I'm also going to set that up. So this is going to be light oil, so we need to hook that up. So we have a pipe coming out of here. Let us go ahead and get a pipe system running out of here. We'll set this up a little bit lower, and then we'll go this way. So that is all going to be fine. like so. Just need some pipes in here, hook these up, hook that up. So we will have both of these, and apparently that one didn't get its recipe copied for some reason. And then, yeah, these things are producing the rocket fuel, which are going onto the central belts. So we're going to want to do the same thing here. These ones can stop there. And then we're going to make the same little setup that we had over in the other place to distribute our final result. So now this is producing rocket fuel as well. That's perfect. We could probably do with upgrading this belt as well, because it's not really cutting it, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and set this up, and I'll be right back again. One problem we're also having is we're not getting enough petroleum gas. This is simply not producing fast enough, or maybe also not efficiently enough. These things could use a productivity module in here, and they do accept it, so that's perfect. But I've also doubled basically our production here. So we're going to add some productivity modules in it. So we're getting extra out of this as well. And with that, the petroleum gas should last even longer. And then with this being produced, it's being added onto this belt, which should then at that point probably be saturated, and it looks like it is. Perfect. So that should take care of our shortage problem, though it is being split too many times maybe. Because, yeah, it's going onto these belts over here as well. Maybe what we want to do is we want to cut this off so that only one half actually goes to the train. And this might run us into problems later down the line, I'm not sure, because this is also a train fuel. But we have a solid buffer of fuel right here. Is this for the train? I think it is. Solid fuel pickup. Yeah, I think it is. Anyway, doesn't really matter. Though at this point, I think I'll also just go ahead and upgrade these belts. Just because we can. Yeah, and these productivity modules are not helping a lot, because look at how slow that is being produced. That is kind of crazy. Now we are getting light oil in here, so that's good. We don't get a whole lot, but it's enough to keep producing at least. Yeah. This is also just maybe being split too many times. So what we could do instead is we could take this off and just provide solid fuel directly to where we actually need it. So I'm just going to make this other belt down here. This is going to disappear. This is going to go underground. And like so. And we will have a supply for each of these. So this one produces, like, this is kind of illogical. The top one produces for the bottom one, and the bottom one, I don't like that. Nope. We're going to remove this, we're going to remove that, and this is going to go like that, and that is much better. Yes. It's a bit OCD, I guess, but it matters to me. So there we go. That is one problem fixed. Hopefully. We'll just have to see how we keep doing on the light oil, and also the petroleum, because that is also slowly going down essentially now that we are using it for two different things. So that will be interesting. Heavy oil is basically completely down. We are producing stuff over here as well, but this is also going quite slowly. At this point, we might want to try to put some beacons in here if it fits. I am not entirely sure it will, because the build is not made for it. Where are the beacons? I'll find it and then I'll put it down if I can. No, there it is. It doesn't quite fit in here, does it? It does fit in here. So it's going to be able to affect these. And then that doesn't quite fit. But there is one that fits here. I'll guess all the little bits help. can put one here, I can put one there, and that's going to be fine, I suppose. And then we're going to be putting some speed modules in here, because yeah, we can, you know. It's not nice looking, it's not optimized, the build isn't made for it, but it's going to work. It's going to increase our speed a little bit, because we do have plenty of crude oil at this point, which is really nice to see. Alright, so we cannot use another heavy oil thing to crack into light oil, unfortunately. This one is already cracking light oil into petroleum, but I'm afraid that if I remove one of these or a few of these, we're not going to be having enough petroleum gas. So we're just going to have to keep an eye on that. So this one is completely filled up. That is nice to see. And the other one, yeah, just keeps producing as well, and that is okay. Every once in a while we'll get a little bit of bonus production. It's not a lot because we only have the tier 1 stuff, but it's something. So, Aquila Rockets, how are you doing? We're still working on the concrete. Yeah, this is going to take some time, unfortunately, simply because we don't have enough of the fuel. Every once in a while we'll have a shipload, or a train load I should say, come in, but it's not going to be enough. And this thing is already refueling again. Why? That's why. We need to get the coal out of here, because that is also significantly hurting our production. Meanwhile though, we can copy this. We can put another train on the station, and let us actually put it right there anyway. We'll copy this, so it should have the same route, and then it's going to basically load up this thing, and we're going to have 2 trains running this stuff around, and I think that is going to help things out significantly. One problem we're also having is we are running into problems with our oil trains bringing in oil. We have 7 on this track actually, and we only have space for 2 trains on this exit, which is really bad. And this one isn't even going because the oil outpost, I guess, doesn't have any place to go. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to try something I haven't done yet, and we're going to add some waiting stations. So for that I'm going to have to build some, well, first of all I have to try to find a good spot for it. And I'm thinking to put it somewhere before they go up here, so that they can actually go this way. So maybe this area here would be pretty good for that, because from here they could also go up again. So I think, yeah, that should work. So we're going to have to clear some space here, and that is going to take a little while as well. But after that we are going to be making a bunch of train stations called a waiting station, and then we're going to have to make a new interrupt. So yeah, let's have a look how this is going to work out. Now, all of the trees I'm removing, of course, is going to increase our pollution, but our artillery is keeping track of the pollution cloud pretty well. So if we zoom out a little bit, I guess we turn on pollution, we are hitting some areas over here. So we're getting sporadic attacks, but I mean, they're trying to expand, they're getting blown up immediately. We're not really in any sort of trouble at this point. Now we have a little bit of pollution, that is because of the flamethrower firing. That is kind of interesting to see. This should disappear, I guess. But yeah, I think we've got this well in hand. So let us go ahead and I'll set this up. Well, I made my waiting stations right there. Let's see if I can figure out an interrupt. So let's go ahead and call this one a waiting station. Waiting stations, I suppose. Allow interrupting other interrupts. I don't think so. What we're going to do here is, let's have a look, destination full or no path. And then we're going to go from there to a waiting station. they're all the way at the bottom. So I think this is good. Destination full or no path. If that is true, it is going to go ahead and go to a waiting station. Now the waiting stations actually are set up to allow for 3 trains to be in each station, because we will have space for 1, 2 and 3, and then we actually even have some space over here for a 4th one. So we might be able to support 4 trains in this way. Right, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, yes. So we can actually change that as well. And I think that is worthwhile. So then I'll just have to go through all of the trains in this, at least for the oil output, one by one, and we're going to add the train. Yeah, we're going to add that interrupt. There we go. So I'll do that, and I'll be right back. Of course, one important part to make that work is this oil input station needs to also have a train limit of 2. So we can have 2 here. Once that is full, everything else is going to be redirected to the waiting station. Well, Epic Quality just finished researching, and the Aquila ship is back in Aquila. So we have more concrete and we have pump jacks that we will also be able to use. So with that, I think it is time that we start expanding our workable area a little bit. Starting with this area that I've cleaned up a little bit, or added onto, I should say, with ice. Let's do it like this for right now. Later we will need to fill this gap in with more ice platforms, which we are not currently able to make yet. So yeah, that's that. Then let us make some chemical plants, I suppose. We need to probably think of a new design for this. So let's have a look. We will have to add ammoniacal solution, solid fuel from ammonia. Okay, that's another thing we could do. And an ammonia rocket fuel. Okay, lithium, holmium plates, lithium brine, and ammonia. Okay, so that is going to have to come from Fulgora, but we're going to start with ammoniacal solution recipe. So for that we just need the input and the output, but of course we need to keep this stuff warm, so we need to think about this a little bit. So I think what we want to do is we want to have an underground belt like so that we can have one of these things pass through. Right, every so often, because also, yeah, we need to have an no, we don't need an inserter, but we do need an inserter on the other side. So what we can do here is just have this set up like so. We will have this thing go like this way, and then we're going to have these things over here, because yeah, it also is going to output ice. So this does not have a lot of space, which is interesting. So how are we going to get this in here? I guess what we need to do is we need to have some space like so. And then we can have, we need long-handed inserters, which apparently I don't have in my inventory. Please, yes, we do have them. Perfect. Alright, so then we will have a long-handed inserter. And then we can have this thing run in between, like so. And then of course we have our belt, which we have red ones of. And like that, we should be able to basically continue this downwards. So I'll set it up. Also, let's select a new research. Stack inserters could be useful. We already researched them quite far down the tree. But is there one thing? I think there is one more thing that we want to prioritize more than that, and that is asteroid productivity. To have more useful stuff out of the materials that we are getting. So yeah, all right, let's hook this up to the power network. and then I'll continue this down the line a little bit. And we're slowly going into a death spiral because we have run out of fuel, which is not great. Yeah, I haven't imported it, I haven't put anything new in the Aquila rocket, which is now going back to Navis, because yeah, we do have fuel cells over here, which it is also being used for. So I have requested a few things. I have requested, okay, we don't need these again, so I can turn this off, but I have requested 500 heat pipes because we ran out of heat pipes, which is really bad. 60 more chemical plants and a cargo landing pad, and on top of that we will be getting 100 uranium fuel cells, and then we're going to put this thing down on Aquila. We're going to request basically 50 uranium fuel cells, and then it's just going to keep going back and forth like that, I think, and that should be perfectly fine. Meantime, then, Aquila rocket number 2 is still not finished, but it is getting pretty close. The production is getting up to speed a little bit, and I'm not sure, like, we need to get this asteroid collector. We also still need to have the rocket turrets being brought up. I'm not sure where do we make the rocket turrets. I'm sure it has to be on Aquila, right? Or on Navis, I mean, but it's been a while. And honestly I don't remember. No, actually probably it's on Fulgora, right? But yeah, we're not bringing them over here. Oh, this requires some looking, because if I remember correctly, the rocket turrets need something special, right? They need carbon fiber. Oh, they're on Gleba. They should be on Gleba, I guess. Or no, this stuff is being brought over to Navis. That has to be the case, right? Yes. Right, so we do have that. And then that is being brought over somewhere to make rocket turrets. But I just don't remember where, because we don't have everything in the same place. It's kind of scattered all over the place. But I'm going to find out and see if there are any logistical problems with it. Because, yeah, I don't think... Yeah, it's not over here. That would be too convenient. And it's not with the artillery shell production, because that would be too convenient. But we're going to find out. I just have to follow. Well, I was going to say the belts, but I cannot. Alright, I'll find out. Here they are, and we don't have any problems with them whatsoever. We have plenty in storage, they just haven't been sent up to space yet. So it's a waiting game. And that's unfortunate, but that's just the way it is. Part of the waiting game, of course, is the fuel problem, which is still ongoing because we are not producing enough, even with our things fixed here. We have 2 of these running around the clock now. We have doubled the production, but this is simply just not fast enough. So I might have to double this again. Because we do have enough production of this stuff. We do still have enough light oil actually as well. So I think, yeah, that's about what we are going to have to do here. Yeah, so I'll just do that and I'll be right back. And I just added another production facility. Now we're getting a little bit of a break here because I'm still putting in another express splitter, which is just arriving, and so that these 2 belts are evenly split among this thing. Because then these 2 belts will basically supply this, and then they will each supply their own. So they basically support 1.5 of these assembling lines each, and I think that is going to be okay. Because yeah, we were running low on petrol, but full on light oil, so actually we might want to add another line of these in the near future as well if we are running low, but let's see. This might be enough to actually yeah, saturate our need essentially. Because this is a mistake, I'm making a mistake, hold on. This is not good. Alright, let's actually flush the pipeline contents here. We don't need water. Silly me. We need light oil in here. There we go. So as soon as the robots are bringing this, we should be good to go. Yeah, the water clearly is not going to work. That is a dumb problem. Anyway, let's have a look. The Aquilo rocket is back over Navis. We are getting our heat pipes in order. Then our chemical plants, we already have a couple. We have a cargo landing pad, apparently. Or actually, not yet, it's on the way. There's one available on the planet. It just needs to be sent up. And the problem here, of course, like I said, is our rocket fuel. Because we're not having enough production. So, that is going to hopefully be fixed soonish. But yeah, we're still getting rockets sent up. Even the bottom ones here are getting filled up. So it is working, just not maybe as efficiently as we might want. But that's just because Aquilo is really resource heavy, I guess. We just need to send a ton of stuff up there. In the meantime though, I also put another set of waiting stations over on this side. There's a little bit less space for them, or for trains, so they only support 2 each. And I also gave them a lower priority, so that they will prefer to wait over in these waiting stations instead, because I think these are closer to where they need to be. And so I think that's probably just the best way to go. Alright, and with that, the waiting game is back on until I get more concrete. Do I want more I probably also want more concrete, yeah. While the ship is there, we should probably request some. So let's send us over another 1,000 concrete, because that also just disappears so fast. Yeah. Meanwhile, probably we are in a death spiral here, though this is still producing power for some reason, because we have steam and we have water, because the temperature is not fully down. So actually we do have more of a grace period than I thought, which is nice. And also we are getting a little bit of power from our solar panels, because yeah, it's not a lot. 600 watts minus 99% power. This is just kind of nuts, but yeah. We also don't have a lot of requests right now, because nothing is really producing anything. Unfortunately, I cannot really do anything here in the meantime, so the waiting game is on. Our spaceship has arrived again, and so we have got some materials. And with that, I have finished our heat pipings, and maybe we should really invest in making these epic quality, because yeah, they really only spread 2 tiles. 1 on each side, which is really short, and maybe epic quality might improve that length or that width, and that would be really useful, because right now this is quite the puzzle, I have to say. It's nice, I'm enjoying it, but yeah, it's a challenge for sure. Anyway, we need to get rid of the ice that is now being produced in the process of making ammonia. So for that, all we really need to do is just continue this belt, and of course that also needs heat pipes, because of course it does. And then we're going to go underneath here, like so. Now we have some ice, and we will have a permanent source of water, which will then feed into these boilers. So that is a nice little loop that should last us for a while, I think. All right, so we're going to go ahead and just loop this around as well, and there we go. Now we have heating everywhere. Ice is being produced, we are producing ammonia. For sure this is never going to be enough, but this is expandable. We can go down, you know, we can make more ice platforms as we go along, but this is a nice little setup. I also brought in some more power, so we have more uranium fuel cells. And actually that reminds me, we should probably send this thing back. We'll keep these on and that one on, and then we'll send it back to Navis, so that we can have a constant source of this going back and forth, I should say. Then Asteroid Productivity 2 has finished researching, so let's go ahead and open this up and select a new thing. Let's go with the stack inserter, I guess, because we got... I guess we did not get quite as far, because this here... or maybe that's the top of the physical projectile damage, right? Okay. Doesn't really matter that much, I guess, but let's go ahead and because we have a lot of these ones now as well, like at least the science is backed up, right? So we could do something with that research. Steel plate productivity is pretty cheap, so let's actually enqueue that, and then actually let's put this in front, and then after that we're going to do stack inserter. Because I think with this, by now, all of our labs should be working, and indeed they are. Perfect. Now we do have agricultural science packs in here. Maybe actually we should switch these around really quick, because yeah, that is something that isn't always here. Like right now the train is arriving, it's not bringing any new agricultural science. And so maybe, you know, we should make use of it while it is here before it spoils. Because that chance is pretty high. As you can see, they're already pretty low. Some of them are a little bit more fresh. But yeah, let's go ahead and make good use of that, I guess. Then, yeah, the ammonia, what are we going to do with that? So we can make solid fuel from ammonia. It also requires crude oil. And I guess we will be able to get crude oil from, yes, from right there. So with that, we can actually use more burning towers. So that will be a good source, actually. What else can we do? Ammonia rocket fuel. For that we need a solid fuel anyway. And then holmium plates. Well, we need to import holmium plates. We actually need to set that up on... yeah, that's going to be a problem. We need to set it up on Fulgora, but we don't have robot coverage everywhere. And so as a result, we basically don't have the ability to send that over to here. And also we need to scale up the production of this stuff because we don't have enough holmium solution being brought over. That is a big problem as well. Yeah, that is an issue. Alright then. But for right now, we're actually producing a lot of ice. Holy crap. That's actually a pretty big problem. Like this is going up at 5 at a time. Holy crap. Alright, also one thing I want to do is I have this cargo landing pad and we should build it somewhere. So I think we're going to be building it... yeah, we should expand some more area, I think, for that. But we don't have any more ice platforms and I don't know quite how to make them yet. Ammonia and ice. Right, okay, so we can make that pretty easily and we can make it in assembling machine 2. So let's go ahead and make some of that because the ammonia is being made and I'm assuming we're going to need quite a lot of these. But that's just the way it goes, I guess. Like so. And then let's set up some ice platforms. Yeah, we need to expand this later, but for that we need the ice platforms in the first place, which we don't have, so that is going to be an issue. And then we're going to hook these up. And I'll just set this up really quick because it's not as fun watching me figure this out as watching the final solution, I think. I might be wrong. But yeah, that's just my assumption right here. And I think we're going to drag these in here, like so. And then, yeah, I'll figure this out and I'll be right back. Honestly, I don't even know why I skipped that. It is super easy. We just need an input and an output because we just hook up these pipes and that's it. It's super simple. I've done this a lot before. So yeah, that's it. So the process here, as I expected, is extremely slow. I don't even know how much ice do we need for one platform. We need 50 ice and 400 ammonia. So we have the ammonia, we don't have the ice. I think, yeah, 50, that's a lot. We can basically only produce a few of these. So we definitely need a way to make ice a little bit more sustainably. But the only way I know to get ice is from space, but there has to be some other way, I guess. I am not sure. But it would be weird if we cannot freeze ice on this planet, right? Like it's super cold, everything is frozen by default, so... yeah, I'll have to do some more research into that. But I think for now we've also been playing for quite some time already. So we've got a little basic starter factory up and running. And we're going to take these platforms and we're going to use them to expand our little factory here so that we can add another one and another one. So we're just going to keep moving this one to the right, I think. But for that, yeah, it's going to take some time, and I need to fly around collecting more ice, which we don't have, because, yeah, I already went past all of these islands and basically collected all of the ice chunks on them. So there needs to be a more efficient way of doing that. But anyway, for right now, thank you so much for watching. Please do leave a like and a comment below if you enjoyed this content and wish to see more. And I'll see you guys for whatever video I do next. Man, I cannot believe how incredibly dumb I've been. I need ice. We're making ice right out of here. What am I doing? Why didn't I think of this? My brain was just fried, I guess, by all of the other problems I've been solving. Oh man, this is too stupid to even go on recording. I can't believe it. Oh, that feels bad, man. Really does. Please don't hold it against me. My brain is fried. So dumb. Anyway, thank you for watching.